Hey y'all, welcome back to another All Things video where it's always something. I'm Darius. This is Destiny, and today for y'all, we are watching Something Scary Volume 3 by SNARLED. I know! Y'all ain't seen us over here since last year.
Some more Spooktober stuff.
I know. But we're back. And we're excited. I hope you're excited. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe to become part of the congregation. Without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Hey, I'm Sapphire.
Hello.
Want to hear something scary?
Sure.
Death anniversary.
There's no place like home, especially if it's haunted. In this next volume, I will be telling tales of homes that might have a few too many residents. These stories are all about old houses with sinister histories and spirits that just aren't ready to move out yet. For the first chapter, I will be telling you a story that my mother told me.
Ooh.
When my mom was about 11 years old, her 3 siblings, and their parents moved to America from the Philippines. My grandma was friends with a woman named Francine, who lived in Hawaii with her husband, Decoy. She told them they could stay at their house until they got settled in.
Kind of cool.
It
was a fairly small house. There was one master bedroom where Francine and Decoy slept, one other bedroom where my mom's family stayed, and a living room area. My mom has many fond memories of living in that neighborhood, like learning how to ride a bike and playing by the nearby stream. But she also had many strange ones. For instance, Francine and Decoy owned the psychiatric institution that was right next door to the house.
Francine and Decoy was paid. Owning the whole hospital.
They own a mental
insane
institution.
asylum.
That's crazy to own something like that.
In that time period, there was criminals up in there. And they was probably not taken care of good. Well, I ain't gonna put that on Francine and Decoy. I don't know why they established that. I can't just say that.
And my mom remembers seeing some of the patients running outside completely naked. Although surprising at first, her and her siblings got used to it. But none of them could explain away what happened on the night of Decoy's ex-wife's death anniversary. So Decoy was a moncadista, a member of the Filipino Crusaders World Army, which was a cult started by the politician and mystic Hilario Camino Moncado.
I take it back. Them niggas is villains. Them niggas villains. You ever seen a good cult?
She said that fully, no hesitation, no little pause. He was a part of a cult, and they I was slow down.
Let's give over there like you just said. He
said, what was that?
Villains. Real life villains.
A moncadista.
His followers believed that he was a prophet with supernatural powers. He claimed that he had the ability to heal the sick. You can always spot a moncadista because of their long hair and beards, as it was against their beliefs to cut it. My mother remembers Decoy being very strong for his
long hair and a beard.
Perhaps that was due to the skeleton.
I'm definitely not a moncadista. I would never be nothing that start with moan and feel like he.
Yeah, so, Christians can do that, but, that comes from God, which is good. I don't know what he got. I feel like it's witchcraft, but I don't know.
Well, that's more religion than Bible teachings with that hair-ish. Except Samson. Nigga had superpowers.
Remembers Decoy being very strong for his age. Perhaps that was due to the skeleton he kept underneath his bed, which according to the moncadistas, the bones of the deceased would give you strength. I heard that the skeleton under his bed is his ex-wife, some people said. But my mom never saw the skeleton. Decoy kept the master bedroom locked at all times, with a giant padlock on the outside.
That skeleton under that bed like a mother.
I was about to say it's true.
It's true like a beach. It's under there.
That is.
Who was he trying to keep out?
Them
or
niggas.
in?
Demons.
One night, my grandparents were about to leave the kids in the house by themselves.
It
was the death anniversary of Decoy's ex-wife, and they were going to go to a celebration in her honor. The kids were a little scared to be left alone for the first time, and so Decoy's granddaughter left her little dog with them.
Oh.
Don't worry, he'll protect you, she said, jokingly. So my grandparents drove away, and my mom and her siblings were left alone in the house. They were watching TV when all of a sudden, a chill shot up my mom's spine. The TV went white, and the power in the house went out. Then, the dog ran over to the bedroom door and started barking and running around in circles. The door to the locked bedroom began shaking violently. Nothing else in the house was rattling, and there were no windows open and no wind blowing. It looked like someone was trying to get out. "It's Decoy's ex-wife!" They screamed and ran out of the house, right when their parents were pulling into the driveway. The kids were crying and trying to tell them what happened. Decoy's granddaughter tried to calm them down and went inside the house to get her dog. She didn't come back out for a few minutes, but when she did, she was in tears. "I just saw my grandmother." If it was truly Decoy's ex-wife in that house that night, what did she want? What was she trying to say?
I think Decoy sacrificed his ex-wife to that cult. She was trying to get out. She was like, "Francine, leave him alone."
This is a true story from a friend of mine who spent 3 months living in a haunted house. When Lauren was 4 years old, her dad got a new job in West Virginia. They bought a nice plot of land where they planned to build their house. It was going to be a while before they would be able to move in, and so they looked around for a house they could live in temporarily. They needed to find a place fast, and so they were excited to find one that was incredibly cheap. They pulled up to a large house made of old dark wood on Kenwood Place. The front yard had a tree from which a rickety old swing swayed in the wind.
Ever notice how these decisions feel unseasoned and melanin challenged? That's a little observation of mine. It's never us that's up in
An
there.
observation has been had.
It's never us in there. Will niggas buy a cheap house? Absolutely.
I just
Will they
saw a
stay in the
video.
cheap haunted house? Absolutely not.
Oh no. But I just saw a video on Twitter where it was like I think on a college campus, but they were like just doing like a scare prank on people, and there was like this dude at the end of the hallway in like this weird Halloween suit, and like when people would see him, they would end up like running the other way. Most of the time, black people. But there was like this white boy that saw him, and then like a group of white boys started chasing him, and it's just like that. I'm happy that that's in the video, because like, why would they go towards something that could be potentially dangerous? While all the black people's like, no, they was either running back in their room or they was running away, because they're like, I ain't playing with it.
Because that's a smart decision.
I think there were like a couple other like white people in the video. I think
A lot
that
of
were,
white
like,
people ran away, but the one group that did attack was the group of like 5 white boys. I did see that video.
In the backyard was a pool. This house was built in the 1800s. It's got a lot of charm and
What?
history, so are you
Settlement.
interested?
Understand
The
that.
realtor said, shoving the contracts in front of them. They barely had a chance to look at the entire house, but Lauren's parents were so desperate to find a place that they weren't even taken aback by how insistent the realtor was. "It is a really good deal," Lauren's mom said, "and it'll only be temporary." "Yes, we'll take it," Lauren's dad told her. "Oh, thank God. Congratulations." From the moment they moved
that
into
little
the
switch
house,
up.
If the
everyone in
nigga
the
said, "Oh,
family
thank
had an
God,"
uneasy
nope.
feeling.
I'm not signing
But
about
because
that.
They said, "Why are you
desperate,
so
they
happy?"
chose to ignore it.
This feel more than just about money. Like, oh, you know, I'm about to get a piece of this. No, you happy to get off your hands.
She said, "We got them, boys." Congrats. No, nope. Give me the contract back. Rip the beach up.
From the moment they moved into the house, everyone in the family had an uneasy feeling. But because they were desperate, they chose to ignore it. Odd things happened every now and then, like showers turning on and off when no one was in the bathroom. Lights would turn back on after being turned off. Lauren's parents would accuse her of playing with the switches, but Lauren was much too short to reach them. They also kept hearing weird muffled sounds, like groans and crying. All
Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that,
hadn't had a
Maggie.
chance to look at.
Deep, wasn't
The
it?
basement. "It's probably just old pipes," her dad would say. A week had passed since they moved in,
Okay,
and they
Dad.
decided to celebrate by taking a dip in their new pool. Lauren couldn't swim, so she stayed at the edge, right by her mother. Then the phone inside the house began to ring. "Honey, can you keep an eye on Lauren?" And no more than 1 second after she stepped out of the pool, she heard a loud splash. She turned around to find Lauren in the other end of the pool, sinking deeper and deeper under the water. Lauren's mother jumped back in and swam towards her daughter and pulled her out to safety. She has no idea how Lauren ended up on the opposite side of the pool in such a short amount of time.
That baby was tossed. She was tossed to the other end of that pool.
Come in, little beach. Over the shoulder to the deep end.
And said, Mom looked away.
And the demon mad because like I wanted her to hit her head on the other end of that pool top.
Just imagine you see a figure disappear and they'd be like,
dang, Mavitt.
No, that little bit. This ain't funny. This ain't funny.
You're lucky this time, little beach.
That wasn't the only time something unexplainable happened to Lauren. She never used to have trouble sleeping alone until she moved to that house. Some nights, before she went to bed, she would hear a woman say, "Good night," right as she turned off the lights.
That'll do it.
It wasn't her mother's voice. The sounds from the basement continued until one day, her dad decided to go down there and investigate. He opened the door, turned on the lights, and screamed. Lauren and her mother came running, and her mother told her not to look,
but of
course she did. There, in the basement, was an antique electric chair. As it turns out, this house was used as a torture site in the 1800s, and many people suffered and lost their lives within these walls.
Oh, I know what this is. Something bad happened to the ghosts, and they said people that look just like y'all did it to us.
No. Stop it.
They said, you want the shocker, nigga? I'ma drown the beach.
Oh, okay. The child has nothing to do with this.
Continued to happen. Lauren's dad had a mysterious cut on his hand that wouldn't heal. Her mother almost suffocated from choking when she wasn't eating. They finally decided to sell the house and stay in a hotel until their new house was with construction. The day they left, Lauren saw a man waving goodbye to them on the front steps. It wasn't until they moved out of that house that they learned that the previous owners also had similar things happen to them. And the man who bought the house after them was arrested for being in possession of torture weapons, which he swears didn't belong to him, but were part of the house. Whether or not the people who were killed in that house deserve to die, they've made it very clear that they don't want to be the only ones to suffer there. In this next chapter, I'll be taking you down south to the French Quarter of New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, no.
Let's explore one of the most haunted locations in the entire city, the Lalaurie House.
Who do you think you're
In 1832, Dr. Louis Lalaurie and his wife Delphine moved into their beautiful mansion at 1140 Royal Street. The house was made for extravagant parties and elite social gatherings. Madame Lalaurie was considered one of the most intelligent and beautiful women in the entire city.
I think I know this story.
Every woman wanted to be her. But as beautiful as she was on the outside, people were beginning to suspect that something ugly was going on behind closed doors. Like most wealthy families during that time, the Lalauries owned slaves. They prepared the meals and made...
I think I know this story, low-key. Is this the one where they was like bleeding black people and like bathing their blood to stay young?
I don't know.
Or to quote unquote stay young?
I don't know.
I used to eat that, y'all.
Fun fact.
Made the family
well, sad fact,
possible.
but you know.
But rumors began to stir. Madame's slaves seem to come and go quite often, don't you think? What do you mean? Look around. Do any of these workers look familiar to you? It seems like she changes them so often.
She said, these ain't the same 6 niggas that was here last week at that last party. I've never seen that beat.
She said, I've had a cold glass of lemonade here 3 times. And each time it was a different
How much you want to bet they asked Madame Lalaurie and was like, is this that or him? No, you know they all look alike. I bet you something like that happened.
She said, no, this is a whole 10 different.
This is Jigaboo the Fifth.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. If she killing the niggas, you think she was being polite about it?
I don't think so, but
yeah.
You didn't have to say it though.
I know that what she was saying.
Okay. You was there with Madame Lalaurie?
See, God can't give me time, chop. I switched everybody down.
Switched everyone down?
Shot everybody. Switch cheese.
Oh. Alright. Yeah.
Ever seen a chopper, Madam Lalaurie? You ain't never seen nothing with a switch on it, have you?
Suspicions had been rising, but with no proof to back any of them up. Until one day, when a neighbor was climbing her stairs, she heard a scream coming from the Lalaurie house and looked over to see Madam chasing a little girl with a whip. There was nothing she could do but watch in horror as the little girl climbed to the rooftop, with Madam following close behind. With nowhere to go, the little girl jumped. Even though slaves were barely considered human back in those times, there were still laws that prohibited except
For a little girl to jump off a building and commit suicide, that means whatever she was doing to them in that house was worse than that. And she said, executive decision, this way out. That is insane and incredibly sad for a child.
That is, bro.
exceptionally cruel treatment. So the neighbor called the authorities, who had the Lalaurie slaves impounded and sold at an auction. But Madam was sneaky. She arranged for her relatives to buy her workers and sell them back to her. After that incident, Madam's reputation began to change. People were no longer eager to attend the parties at their house, nor even interact with the family. Eventually, they were alienated by the Creole Society. And in 1834, things would only get worse. The Madam kept her cook chained to the kitchen by her ankle. For whatever reason, Madam had threatened to take her to the upstairs room. This terrified the cook. Whenever anyone went up to that room, they never came back. The cook decided she would rather die by her own hand than to suffer by Madame Lalaurie's, so she set the kitchen on fire. It spread throughout the entire house, and not a part of the mansion was left unscathed. Neighbors came rushing over to help fight the flames, but after the smoke had cleared, they made a horrific discovery in the attic. What I'm about to tell you is possibly one of the most graphic and horrendous scenes in American history. You have been warned. The fire had burned down the door to reveal the upstairs room filled with dozens of naked slaves. Some were strapped to what looked like an operating table. A few were chained to the wall. Others were crouched in small cages. One woman had her stomach slit open and her intestines wrapped around her waist like a cruel corset. Another woman's mouth was sewn shut, after first having been filled with animal feces. A man had a hole drilled into his head with a stick inserted, presumably used to stir his brains. Most of them had been dead for a long time, and some were unfortunately not. Madam and her husband were both doctors, and some theorized that they were practicing risky medical operations on their slaves. But the inhumane condition that they were in suggests that their reasons were less medical and purely sadistic. After the news of the Lalaurie's torture room spread across the city, a mob ransacked their mansion and destroyed every last bit of property they owned. They even tore up the backyard, where they discovered dozens of buried skeletons, including that of a small child, presumably the young slave who jumped off the roof. The mob chased the Lalauries out of town, and that was the last anyone had ever seen of them. Ever since that day, that house has had trouble getting tenants to stay. Residents claimed to hear constant sounds of wailing. Children said they were chased by a woman with a whip. Year after year, the house would be bought just to be resold again. Today, the mansion is owned by an oil tycoon who doesn't allow anyone inside. I wonder what he's hiding.
If I'm about to pray
Paris,
after this,
the city of
it's
lights.
crazy.
But what happens after the lights go out? In today's chapter, I will be telling a true story from my friend Leah, whose grandpa lived in a flat in France. In 2001, 14-year-old Leah, her brother, his girlfriend, and their parents traveled to Paris, France to visit Leah's grandfather. He lived alone in a 3-bedroom flat, a block away from the Luxembourg Gardens. The apartment was covered in antiques, from old paintings to vintage furniture. Her grandfather loved collecting items with a history. Leah and her mother stayed in one of the bedrooms together. Their first night in that room, her mother fell asleep before her. Once her snoring had stopped, she began whimpering. It looked as if she was crying in her sleep. Leah wasn't sure what to do, but it looked like her mother was hurting, so she lightly tapped her on the shoulder. She woke up with a gasp, assured Leah that she was fine, and went back to sleep.
No.
The second night, Leah was awoken by what felt like an earthquake. She tried to turn to her mom to ask her if she felt it too, but she couldn't move. She could see her mom right next to her in the corner of her eye, but no matter how hard she struggled, she couldn't move her head. She tried to scream, but nothing came out. After what felt like hours, Leia was awoken again by her mother nudging her shoulder. Leia's brother and his girlfriend, Jen, stayed in a different room. Jen was a very devout Catholic. She wore a cross around her neck and wrapped one of her purses with a large rosary. One night during the trip, she woke up and saw a blonde woman standing over her. Jen couldn't move.
No.
After minutes of struggling, she woke up, clutching the cross around her.
No.
Don't no white people stay in this house. And the white people that we do associate with ain't none of them blonde. If I see a blonde bitch, she getting punched. Unfamiliar, swing.
Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that at all.
Getting punched off fear and reflex.
I don't like that at all.
No, it's not good. It's not fun.
Yeah, cutting that vacation short. I'm going to the house. Ain't no vacation good enough to do with no haunting. Ain't no relative house great enough to stay.
And they say that city musty. Musty city demons.
Oh, man. This is terrible.
The blonde woman was nowhere to be found. She sat up to catch her breath and looked over at her purse. The rosary had been removed. The next morning, everybody met in the living room.
That woman said, "We just gonna move this."
Breakfast in the kitchen.
You ain't gonna play with
Jen was
me.
looking at some of the decor in the room and gasped. She pointed at a small painting hanging on the wall. That woman. I saw that woman in my dream last night. Leia and her mother walked over to the painting. Oh my God, I saw her too. The first night we were here, I woke up in the middle of the night and she was in our room. She was standing over you and said, "Can I touch her?" And I kept trying to tell her no, but I couldn't move. And then you woke me up. I think I saw her too, Leia said. I was brushing my hair in front of that old vanity in our room, and it started to feel like someone was standing behind me. The mirror is a little splotchy, but I could have sworn I saw a face slowly start to form in the mirror, but I ran out of there before I could find out. Leia's grandfather walked in carrying a tray with coffee. Grandpa, who's the woman in this painting? Oh, that's Marie. She owned this place before passing away a few years ago. The room that you and your mother are sleeping in was hers, actually. Why do you ask? They decided not to tell him about their experiences since he lived alone and they didn't want to scare him. Later that day, Leia and her family began to pack their things and prepare for their flight home. Her grandfather pulled her aside and said, "I want to show you something." She followed him into a room where he pulled out a beautiful jewelry box. Inside was a collection of intricate ivory hair pieces and combs.
That belonged to Marie, or whatever her name is.
I really like them. They belong to Marie. Please, take them. His insistence weirded her out a little bit, and she politely declined. After that trip, Leia's mother came up with a theory that Marie really took a liking to Leia, and it was probably her who was subconsciously telling her grandpa to give her the jewelry box as a parting gift. So, the next time they visited the flat, her mother spoke to Marie. "Hi, we're here. Look, we enjoy visiting, but we won't come back if you keep doing things to scare us." And ever since then, no one in the family experienced anything strange in that house. Marie seems like a harmless spirit, but it is sort of odd how everyone in Leia's family had a terrifying episode of sleep paralysis while staying in that house. Do you think Marie was causing it? Or was this all just a big coincidence?
Oh, Jesus. I didn't click something.
What you hit?
I don't know.
If I were you...
There's not enough get up and go in these experiences we're hearing about.
And we won't keep coming back. Wouldn't have had to say that she never saw me
I don't
again.
care. I'm like, Grandpa, you got some money. I suggest you go to the other side of the city. Sell these items back to wherever you got them from. Because there's some attached to this.
Hey, I'm assuming it came with the house.
Get rid of Marie. Get rid of her stuff. She ain't here no more.
Now Marie done grabbed you by the back of your shirt. "Don't take my combs!"
I might have to hit Granddad. Because why you got me tags in your flat?
You can do what you want to me.
Thompson, don't take my combs. You gotta go somewhere, Marie, on the other side. What you gonna do against
Go
Jesus?
ahead and fully cross over like AI.
Or you gonna be sent there forcibly?
Allen Iverson for y'all niggas who think about the internet too much.
How you attacking them?
I just want to, because you know AI is the thing right now.
Man, yeah. I need to watch some of
niggas making AI stuff polluting water and killing the sky. They found a freaking mosquito in Alaska today for the first time ever. Because niggas want to make stuff that ain't even good. Them Sasquatch videos.
I don't know why AI is messing. It's polluting the atmosphere. What's it?
Because it's in data farms and stuff like that. Like it's it's burning a ton of energy and fuel, and it's pumping out a bunch of pollution to make this stuff. Because you have to put it in big centers. Like, you ever seen them spy movies? Where they go into like them computer rooms, it's like rows and rows of computer looking stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's like those, but bigger, and it's a lot of them, and it's pumping out pollution to make the stuff.
Oh. People just ain't gonna be.
Because niggas don't want to learn skill sets no more.
People just ain't gonna be satisfied until they just tear up the earth.
And then somebody in the comment section was like, the mosquitoes done mutated. No, nigga, the earth is on fire.
The earth heated up.
Niggas like to act like global warming is a myth. I've been getting hotter every year. I live in Mississippi. I know what summer feel like, nigga. It's getting worse.
Years ago, the first day of spring was 99 degrees. I said, this is summer.
Spring, nigga. End of February, beginning of March. Hot.
And it's been cold in Florida every time I've been there. But Florida's like mini Australia.
I'd lock my doors before listening to our final chapter. This is the story of Donna, a young girl who was left home alone one night for a little too long. There once was a 15-year-old named Donna. Her mother died when she was very young, and it was just her and her...
That haircut got her haunted.
Maybe that's the real punk rock. If y'all know, y'all know.
dad ever since, living in a peaceful suburb. They had grown incredibly close over the years. They would always know what the other was thinking, and even feel when the other was near. Some joked that they were psychically connected. One morning, Donna and her father were having breakfast. "I've got a meeting later today," he said. "I'll be home late, so don't wait up for me." He left some cash for her to order dinner, kissed her on the head, and headed out the door. Later that day, Donna came back home from school. Usually her dad would be home from work at this time, so it was weird coming home to such a still and quiet house. So she sat at the kitchen table and started to do some homework. Suddenly, she felt a sharp pain in her neck. It went away as quickly as it came, so she decided to ignore it. Ow! Her neck stung again. The pain was getting more and more intense. She ran to the freezer to grab an ice pack and placed it on her neck. The pain began to fade away. I wonder what that was all about, she thought to herself. It was now 8 o'clock and still no word from her dad. She figured she could wait up a little longer for him and decided to order some pizza. "Hi, I'd like to make an order." "Yeah, sure, I can hold." The subject is still on the loose. The police are recommending everybody lock their doors and windows and not answer the door for anybody, especially at night. "Hi, can I get a large pepperoni pizza?" It was getting pretty late, and she began to doze off on the couch.
She said, "Anyway, I'm hungry."
She was a little girl again.
The news, it's a killer out in your neighborhood. Anyway, extra large pepperoni. So, if you want some stuffed crust, I would like some stuffed crust. Stuffed crust too. You gonna ring the doorbell? The news said not to let niggas in. Ring the doorbell.
If that person got a pizza, they can come on in. That's what she said.
In the house she used to live in,
Well,
on
why is
the
this
couch
girl
and
on
dream.
the screen?
She was a little girl again. In the house she used to live in when her mom was still alive. Donna was sitting at the kitchen table, and she looked over at the stove where a woman with her back turned was making breakfast. "Mom?"
That was her mama.
The woman turned around. It was her mother. She walked over to the table and placed a plate of eggs in front of Donna. She whispered in her ear, "Don't open the door." What? Suddenly, she found herself standing on the side of a busy highway, cars flying past her.
Whoa.
She could hear someone calling her name in the distance. "Donna! Donna! Donna!" Across the highway, she began to make out a figure. It was her dad. "Donna, don't open the door." "Dad, I can't hear you. Where are you?" "Don't open the door." Donna sat up on the couch. What a weird dream. Felt so real. The doorbell rang again.
If you had an Inception dream where you go from one thing to the next and they both saying don't open the door, and then you wake
doing
up,
his best to save you,
and you
saying F it.
And you wake up and the first thing you hear is a doorbell ring?
Two people that care about you and love you done subconsciously told you don't open that goddamn door, and you said pizza's here. You know, and at this point, if you become a victim, you deserve it.
Started walking towards the door, but stopped when she passed a window. It was a lot darker outside than she remembered. How long was I asleep for? She looked at her phone. It was 1 a.m. She called up the stairs.
Who
Dad?
Bringing the pizza there late?
Are you home? The door began to ring more persistently. Dad, is that you? She went to the door and looked through the peephole. It was her dad. Finally. She went to slide the lock open, but quickly locked the door again. Something wasn't right. She didn't have that feeling when she knew her dad was nearby. Then she remembered her father's voice from her dream. Don't open the door. She looked through the peephole again. Dad, are you okay? Did you forget your keys? Is someone there with you? Dad, why are you acting really weird?
No.
The doorbell kept ringing. I need you to answer me. I'm not opening this door until you answer me.
I don't like that.
The ringing went on and on and on. She didn't know what to do. Eventually, she collapsed on the floor in tears and ended up falling asleep next to the front door to the seemingly never-ending bell. Donna woke up the next morning on the doormat. The doorbell had stopped ringing. Dad, are you home? No reply. She looked inside the peephole. Her dad was still there, staring at her just as he had the night before. She carefully opened the door and froze. Her father's head stared back at her. On the ground was a note. I know you're all alone now. Thanks for watching. Do you have any ideas for future volumes? I'd love to hear them in the comments. Want something scary for your phone? Make your home screen haunted with our new wallpapers available to download now for free. And for a limited time, you can now purchase.
See y'all in the outro game. That last story was absolutely insane. She locked in though. She locked in and didn't open that door. Her daddy talked to her because he was on his way to the other side.
It's so sad, bro.
It is. This was good. I was thoroughly quaking a little bit.
Yeah, I got a couple of chills. I didn't like that. I mean, it was entertaining. It was good, but I didn't like it. I didn't like that at all.
Y'all remember to like, check out, and subscribe. Remember, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you.
And you can do all things. Thank you. I'm shook. I'm shook, bro. Ooh. I don't know what to say, bro.
All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and do what's called according to His purpose.
Oh my goodness.
Reality.
Oh my goodness, they got me. Oh.